What's up guys, welcome back for another Yugioh Pro Duel video. Konami released, or is going to release, a new agent, fairy slash Parshath Link monster in upcoming Link Frames Pack 2. On first sight I was like, this doesn't really seem that fantastic. It's okay, I mean it can special summon something from your hand, and on top of that it will also search something like any card that reads Sanctuary in the Sky, or as it in its card text I believe. So basically here in this deck you can search something like Earth, the Agent Earth, and same for, Master Hyperion. That's definitely also something to search out, right? But, yeah, basically, as you'll see in a couple of moments, I've been looking for, the right build, and again, it's a Link 3 as well, so it definitely needs a lot of resources to invest in, but, of course, just normal summon Venus. Venus basically is this card, right? Just going for the 3 Shine Balls. But the Darklords still have, again, and as you know, a big weakness as in, the biggest weakness is against hand traps, right? Like Call by the Grave, for example, Call by the Grave on your, what is it called, X-Step I believe the name is, or Xel, the Destiny draw for the archetype, but Ash Blossom is 95% of the times your opponent will have the hand trap and interrupt that play, make it a minus, and that's very, very big for this deck. Big as in painful, right? Anyway, so first turn getting one of the Darklords on my side of the field to potentially use its effect on the field during my opponent's turn, and now the Parshath Link monster isn't really doing anything. So during your opponent's turn, well, if a monster leaves your field, you can special summon something from your hand. So special summoning like a side, artifact side, or maybe Christia is definitely an option if you don't have, in case of Christia, don't have the appropriate 4 fairy monsters in your graveyard. Anyway, special summon, basically getting those extra tokens thanks to Phantom Sky Blaster. Skeldred is a very, very important card for the deck, digging into those Christias, for example. Previously, I was running multiple copies of Christia, but again, bricking is one of the weaknesses of this deck, of course. You're running basically 4 Garnets. Garnet itself, due to Brilliant Fusion and Miskel's Shine Ball, of course, right? But I think I'm running a little over 40 cards, but again, I think it's definitely justified. Again, Christia coming in clutch, preventing my opponent from special summoning, right? Another example against Cosmos, he's eventually going to get, I believe the Dark Destroyer, no, it was the Trap card, I forgot the name, you know which one I mean, and yeah, Dark Lady definitely was an okay play, I guess, prevents me from going for the first turn Venus, so I was forced to banish one of the Venus in hand, going for Hyperion to force out the Lady, or the Witch to tribute to herself to go for Dark Destroyer. So main phase 2, going for the Fairy Link, and, Superbia, I believe the name is, and I was thinking for a couple of minutes, I was like, I think this is my only option in main phase 2 to have some co-link shenanigans going with both Cerberus and Phoenix, protecting my what's it called, the Parshath Link monster as well, since again Dark Destroyer is such a great card, right? But again, it's very hard for this deck to get over it. I mean, I can't really target it with something like Hyperion, so I already have to go for the BLS. BLS, the new Link BLS, is very solid against Cosmos. Very easy to attack over something, and, as in this deck, just using a level 7 or higher monster to link summon it, it will gain its beneficial effects, as you can't target it with any card effects, and it can be destroyed by card effects. So again, very solid against Cosmos, unless of course they have the Trap card, which again doesn't target, so that's a huge problem. And speaking of a huge problem, Boral Sword is basically in everybody's deck, right? And Boral Sword is also one of those easy instant outs for the BLS Link. Superbia into Hyperion, into destroy something, into a possible rank 8 Exceed play. Again, very solid, something I definitely like. It's not the best top tier shenanigans you can do, but again, Agents, it was good back in 2011, 2012 maybe, but power creep, etc. But again, that's something to keep in mind. Yeah, anyway, I don't think I was able to attack for the game, so I'm just going to scoop it up here. Another example, again, opening Venus. Again, I'll just showcase a couple of examples without Venus, right? It's a little bit coincidence. with these replays. Anyway, get that nice draw engine going for the fairy, going for the agent slash fairy, the Parshath link monster, right? And the potential of using its effect of special summoning something from your hand, I think is quite okay, but you have to trigger it, right? So triggering it by using a virus card, for example, on one of your Darklords or the Darklord trap. Just use its on-field effect, like tribute something. And draw another copy here. Basically at one point I was running like 3 copies in the main deck, so again not really sure. Eventually I think I dropped it to 1 copy in the main deck. So dropping the Hyperion eventually will seal a deal. Well, Call by the Grave is definitely one of those cards that eventually will banish the gadget, and now Boral Sword, etc, etc, will eventually seal the deal. I mean, the deck definitely has some strengths with Superbia, Reborning Hyperion, etc, etc, and Brilliant Fusion is a recent addition to the deck. Sending something like Christia from your deck to the grave is fantastic. Only one of, in the beginning I was running 2 or 3 copies even of Christia. Same for the, at least in the beginning I was also running more Darklord cards in the main deck, but that wasn't really working out too well. I dropped most of them, or dropped into like basically one-offs here in the main deck. And I'm speaking, for example, from the at least of the trap. Anyway, still have my normal summon for Venus, or for Earth indeed. Get a search. Boral Sword should eventually seal a deal. Getting those extra searches, using the Parshath link, discard something, search my last copy of Hyperion, and eventually seal the deal again. So quite good. You can search out Master Hyperion with the effect. But here is something I talked about, and it's something that keeps following Darklords. It's just so weak against the negation, like Ash Blossom, Solemn Strike on your Yugioh Destiny Draw effect, and again that's definitely one of the biggest weaknesses this deck still has. So yeah, eventually he will be able to. Not really sure if it's now if he's going for Boral Sword. I think so. I think he's just able to attack for game. No, not yet. Okay, Boral Sword is fine, but again, as you see, he does have the Solemn Strike in his back row. I'm going to pot off Desires to get those extra draws, but drawing the Shine Ball again. You will always draw the Shine Ball. Definitely not that optimal. Just going to set it, and now he's able to attack for game. Eventually going for Dark Law, Mass Change, and double Boral Sword attack. So a bit unfortunate, but this game perfectly showcases that the Darklord engine, it's still so weak against main deck staples in today's format, as in Ash Blossom, Solemn Strike to some extent. Brilliant Fusion into Christia, right? At least, yeah, here in this case, because of Soul Charge, eventually, well, maybe it should have gone for Christia, but I think the deck has so many options to eventually draw into Christia. This was one of the duels I ran multiple Christias in the main deck, so I was somewhat certain or hoping that one of the cards I drew was eventually Christia, to just get it on my side of the field with either the Skuldred special summoning effect or the special summoning effect of the Parshath Link monster, right? So, Christia on my side of the field, I thought, okay, I should again be in a very good position, but nope. Impermanence is going to negate the Christia, and one of this deck's MVPs, as in win conditions, is immediately shut down with the Christia being negated, and now the opponent opens up very well with the Battery Man, etc, etc. So again, big bummer, and especially because of the Titan, I believe its name is, the big Fusion Thunder Dragon. It gets the boost off of Skuldred. Good play on his part, since now he's able to attack over the BLS. BLS cannot be destroyed by battle, at least cannot be destroyed by card effects, cannot be targeted by card effects, but the Skuldred boost definitely helps him out here. And Hyperion, Destruction Effects is not going to do anything. The Christia will send back to the top of my deck with its own effect, and nah, it's not going to matter too much. Yeah, just going to, well, yeah, the Linkoribo is going to prevent his Avian from being destroyed, bounce back to the hand, so now he can use it, and eventually he'll be able to attack for a game. So a bit unfortunate, but this new Fairy Link monster, new Parshath Link monster can definitely be used as something like Counter Fairies, but I'm not really sure because of the new Counter Fairy Trap card, the Counter Trap that special summons like a Parshath from your deck or extra deck. I think in most situations you're just better off special summoning the effect Parshath from your deck, so, and again, the Link would not see play in that particular deck. But here, definitely has a place, supports agents in general, so definitely try out the deck, and like always, feel free to leave suggestions. Okay, guys, that's it. Thanks for watching, and feel free to leave a comment or a like if you enjoyed the video. Lithium signing out. Peace.